everyone to Aether's Walkway. It has been a while, but we're back and I'm so excited about it. Yeah, just hi, I'm excited. I'm also Lindy and this is my channel. And we're sponsored by Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice. I don't have my bot up, but check out roll20.net. There'll be a link posted in there because they're awesome and just do it. Just do it. I will be playing Zarina Nyx, the definitely not addicted to mods, just normal human gal who maybe had an almost fiance who faked their death, in case anyone forgot about that. Someone else who's awesome, tell us who you are and who you're gonna be playing. Lily.
Yeah, that's me. I'm ready to stream. I'm a professional streamer. I'm the girl with many lives. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lily Sparks with an X, and on Twitch now. I also stream on Twitch. And I'm going to be playing Hybria Mingzhu Zhenfeng, who is, just been looking for her brother, and now this episode is named after her brother. So that's probably totally gonna be fine. And yeah, I'm so excited to be back and with some of my favorite people. It's so great.
It is so great. Speaking of so great, Greg, how are you?
I'm great, Lindy. I will be playing Cantor. The greatest thing about Cantor is when I opened up my note file, I laughed because I don't have one. He can't remember anything. And so armed with that bit of knowledge, know that anytime I pause or am searching for whatever fact it is that Greg is missing, it's all part of my method acting. I'm that good. Back to you, Lindy.
It's true. He is that good. Someone else who is just that good would be Erica.
No? Oh, hi everybody! My name is Erica. You can find me everywhere at A Style Pixie. I'm playing Loxy, your feathery, rough around the edges mechanic.
Fantastic. Someone who I think is fantastic is Trooper.
So, for the record, you think I'm fantastic. You're not mad at me for like
I think
the whole
Trooper is fantastic.
Faking your death fiance thing.
We coordinated that together.
We did. We coordinated it together. We planned it.
This is tragically delicious.
It's true. I'm Trooper SJP, and I want to say that Erica, your haircut is amazing. Like it's amazing.
Thank you. I just parted it to the side.
Oh.
That's just how naturally, how awesome.
It's like somebody's got an amazing quarantine haircut. I don't know how that happened because it looks great.
Yeah, I've been cutting this in the bathroom by myself.
Hey, you got mad skills.
Thank you.
I stream on the internets. You can find me here, of course, on 2 different shows. You can find me stuff. We'll talk about that later. I'm playing today Livewire, who, is like a normal guy. Certainly did not fake his death, not telling his almost fiance, that he did that in a way that would probably be super traumatic and kind of rude. Certainly that didn't happen. And right now I am not maybe my own clone in a cabin with maybe actually me and maybe me being the clone in a cabin freaking out. Or an AI, or it's really unclear. And I'm certainly not having some kind of identity crisis while I'm trying to figure out which one of me is the real me, but I'm pretty sure it's the other one who's the real me because that one's the jerk and I'm totally fine and I did not fake my death, that one did. Is it okay if I kill that one? Like if I kill that one, does that kill all of my problems and guilt? Because I feel like it might.
That just makes you a murderer on top of everything else.
Dang it! Dang it! I'm excited to be back here and I'm excited to find out what's gonna happen. Yeah, that's what I'm excited about. Oh.
Someone I'm excited about would be our GM, our game master, Alice. How are you?
Oh, hi. I'm just so glad to be back. Giving Trooper loads of complexes, apparently. This is apparently my thing for this game. Otherwise, you can find me as White Rabbit Pick on Instagram, but my company is currently going through a rebrand, which is launching in November. So there's no point sending any links or anything yet, but it is coming. Anyway. Shall we dive back in? And speaking of Livewire, we left Livewire face to face with this supposedly dead man that he'd seen shot on the security footage on just the side of this pane of glass. He seems to be keeping very, very silent. Everything is being done sort of through gestures and signing, but he looks very tired, very panicked. You notice he keeps checking behind him. His eyes are quite sunken, but you can see it's like from where he's so tired, you think maybe he's not slept in a few days, if not more. But
And if I
he's
remember,
looking...
when we left off, I had hissed to him quietly from the other side of the window, "How did you find me?" Though he couldn't see me, and he indicated.
He raised his arm.
Yeah. He indicated a scar.
And tapped.
And that's when I was like, "Oh no."
Oh dear.
Oh dear. That seems bad. There
Good
might be a
heavens.
tracking device embedded in my body. How awkward. So with that sort of realization, that dawning of like, oh, this scar I've been playing on might, and I think I palpitated and I was like, oh no, there's something in there. So what I'm going to do is sort of move to that back door, and quickly but quietly open it up and drop the illusion that I have that makes the inside of the cabin look like it's empty, and sort of open the door for him, this stranger who was killed in episode 1 of Aether's Walkway, just awkwardly, but you know.
He sort of looks at you again, checks behind a couple of times, and makes a mad dash for the door. And he doesn't give you a chance to close it. He closes it himself. He looks to see, are there any locks on this cabin? Would you have had a load of locks, or what is it?
No, I don't think we would have had a load of locks. And of course, we'll also discuss this with my near fiance, because we had a very close relationship, very close and very open. We would never lie to each other. So faking the death is sort of awkward. I would think that we would probably have some locks, kind of like maybe, slightly.
Like the deadbolt in the chain.
Yeah, because we're out in the middle of nowhere, so you don't necessarily need huge numbers of locks. But there are sort of wild creatures, so you might want to have maybe like a bar or something like that, but nothing. I would imagine things not super high tech, because we wouldn't really expect things besides wilderness things, really. So
He sort of hurries in. You notice then what he's wearing looks like just average clothes that you'd expect on Mara or even now Marius. They're very tattered. They look too big for him. It looks like maybe he's taken them from someone else or pinched them or something like that. But he seems breathless as he sort of closes the door, and you can see his hand shaking as he struggles to lock it. And then he moves, he sort of takes you by the shoulders and pushes you back. He's just like, close the windows. Have you got blinds? Have you got curtains? Have you got anything? You can't be seen in here.
Yes, but as he's saying that, I'm actually just moving to the kitchen area where we have knives. Like that's like I was heading towards the knives. When he says that, I go and I shut the curtains on the windows instead of like grabbing the knife immediately. But like I start moving those windows, and I'm going to assume that he will then hit the other windows, because this is not a huge cabin, and I would imagine we probably have a window over the sink by the kitchen area, and probably some for like beautiful views. You know what I mean, like in the front part. So I'm going to assume that he, in his panic, is probably like, that's my assumption. Like as
he's going through and he's covering with whatever. You even see him taking one of the blankets off of the sofas to almost put over the curtain as well, to almost make it darker, to black out everything. And you see him almost step on the Solovac at first, and then sort of jumps away from it. Slight shock that it's there.
And I just go, shh, it's all right. He's all right. Now, am I talking to the Solovac or am I talking to him? It's unclear.
He, however, does not react to the other version of you lying down.
I'm going to grab. So we are out there in the woods. We go hiking. This is a cabin where we stay when we're going to be out in the middle of nowhere for a while, and we have good knives. We probably have a cleaver. We probably have like a good sort of, how would you call it? Good knives, you know, that you, in case you need to strip things and then cook things and then eat things, I imagine. Because, you know, sometimes that happens. And so I imagine I'll get one of these really good, like maybe like a paring knife, you know, like a paring knife I'm gonna get. Yeah, and I just like turn around with this knife in my hand, and it's, and I have this knife in my hand. It's not threatening, but it's like, as if this is a good idea, right? That's the kind of the look on my face.
He looks towards you and sort of looks at the knife in your hand and looks down at your arm, and he's like, "Don't do that. You'll set it off."
Oh, then
come here. And he sort of half moves towards you and half drags you round to where the sofa is, and he sort of sits you down and he's like, okay, and he's scrambling around in his pockets for something. It's just like, you haven't tried to dig it out or anything before this, have you?
No.
Okay, because that would have been messy. Give me your arm.
I hand it, and of course the arm is still holding the knife as
he knocks it out of your hand in case you get this reaction to use it, and you see him take out almost like this small tube, and he places it over where you can now, purely because it's almost like it's been acknowledged that there's something there. It's like you can feel it, like this plastic sort of rectangle sort of in you, and you feel it, and it might sting a little bit. And without saying anything else, he sort of puts a hand on your chest more to keep you sat down, and he presses this sort of button on the side of it, and you can hear a very high-pitched whir, and the Solovac screeches and runs into the kitchen, and you can feel this, it's almost like an intense heat, and you see this green sort of light static around it, and on your skin is just almost like it's been cauterized. Nothing comes out or anything at all, and it just sort of steams. Like, you can't, as soon as it's done, you can't feel any pain, you can't feel anything, it's still in there. But he looks to you and goes, okay, they've been tracking you. You need to be cleverer if you're going to avoid them.
I didn't know I had.
Can you assume? Can you think maybe that if they managed to kidnap you and create and sort of gestures to the person behind you, the other you, that maybe they could have tracked you? How do you think they found you in the first place?
Wait, are you the real you or are you the fake you?
It's best not to ask those questions. I'm still asking it myself.
But I need to know, if that one wakes up, do I cease to exist?
Don't wake it up.
I knew it.
You won't cease to exist if that's... You'll exist. A few things could happen. Your brain won't be able to cope. You'll crash. Mine turned violent. When you see yourself, you don't know how you're going to react, do you? How did you react to this? What's been running through your head? Because I know what went through mine.
Nothing? I mean...
That's a lie. That's why you've got to be cleverer.
Right. I mean, I just escaped. It's been like just a couple of hours.
Every hour counts.
Right. It was a bit of a shock, right? It was a bit of a shock. Also, they kidnapped me because not because I was being tracked, though. I mean, they kidnapped me because they knew where I was. It was an accident. I saw you. You got killed. Is that rude? I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I don't mean
One
to
of me
upset
got
you.
killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Is that, I mean...
He sort of looks down at himself. He's like, I'm fine. I felt when it happened.
You felt when it happened.
Yes. But listen, they went for you for a reason, okay? What think. And he's sort of almost like it's almost like he's very erratic, and he puts his hands either side of your temple. He's like, you need to think, you need to be smarter, you need to be quicker, you need to be cleverer, you must have something they want, or something they want to know, otherwise you would be no interest to them.
No, of course I know this, but they want data that I have.
Okay, then where is it? In fact, don't tell me, I don't want to know.
Well, that's sort of the problem, that it sort of seems like they might already have it, but then if they already have it, they wouldn't be asking me for it.
Then you must know something else. Maybe you don't even know what it is.
No, I mean, they asked me for the data, so they don't have it. But this is the confusing part, that I had some data, I hid the data in a place. Nobody knew that I hid it in that place. And when they caught me, not here, but another planet, they asked me where it was, which makes me think they don't have it. And they don't know where it is. But then the person whose apartment it was at, who also didn't know where it was, had her apartment gone through and things were stolen. But if the things were stolen by them, then they would have it, but they don't. But then they wouldn't ask me.
Do you know where it is or not?
I do. Well, sort of. I know it was in.
Is it important?
Yes.
Then you can't let them find it.
Right. But I know what it's contained in, but I don't know where the container is.
So you don't know where it is?
But I know what it's in.
Oh, and he sort of like lets go of you and stands up, sort of like pushes his palms to his temples in a frustration as he sort of paces about the room. And you say, this is what I mean by you've got to be cleverer, because if they find it, that means they know everything about you. If you woke up in that facility, they know everything, because they're going to read everything.
But since that means it's good though, right? I know it's contained in, but I don't know where the container is, which means they don't know where the container is.
How do you know that?
Well, because they asked me where it was.
Who asked you?
The doctor. Mercedes.
What doctor? I'm not talking about Mercedes. Who do you think knows what you've got?
The Dr. Mercedes, who was at the facility, who tried to kill me earlier, who probably is in charge of making these bodies. Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the 12.
The supremacy?
No, it's I don't really know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know where they come from. They're everywhere.
Wait.
And there's something about their project. They're part of the, it's not even, they're not even the supremacy. It's like they're higher than the supremacy.
Wait. Hold on. The 12.
The 12.
Alice, have I heard of the 12 before? I feel like I haven't. Have I? No, I
I've
have
never
not.
heard of the 12.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Wait. Are they the supremacy? Are they like a faction within the supremacy, or?
I don't know. I don't know who they are. I don't know. I don't even know fully what they want. They're just there. They're higher than the supremacy, but they somehow control the supremacy. But the supremacy's the highest. So what does that mean?
Wait, are the 12 human? Are we talking? Are they literal? Are they people? Are they? Human?
No one has seen them, and if they have, they're not telling.
Okay, wait. There's something called the 12. What do you know about them?
That they're not great. That you can't be on their radar. But then they've got everyone on their radar. I don't really know how they do it. That's just the problem. That's why you get rid of the tracker, because that's the easiest level. But they probably, if you stay here for too long, they're going to know you're here. Something will tell them you're here. They just always know where you are.
Okay, hold on. I feel like you're freaking out.
I'm freaking out.
Yes.
Why aren't you freaking out more?
You know, I am freaking out, but I feel like you're freaking out in a paranoid way, and I feel like my paranoia is a little bit more
I can't deal with
grounded.
it. You're too calm.
No. We have to calm down. We have to calm down because right now, my paranoia and your paranoia are, I feel like they're amplifying in ways that are not helpful. Not helpful.
Calm means relaxed. Relaxed means sort of not so aware, and that means they get you.
No. All right. Listen, if they're going to approach, we're gonna know about it here, right? Okay.
How? You didn't see me coming?
I heard you. That's why you didn't see me.
On your doorstep?
Do you think they're gonna come with one lone person? They'll probably come with vehicles to capture us with. They're gonna take us. They're gonna take us away in something, some kind of vehicle.
How do you know it's a person?
What?
I don't know. This is the thing, when you live in this sort of thing for too long, you start questioning everything. Like,
Right.
seriously, did you really think you'd be in a house with another you yesterday?
Okay.
I'm technically dead.
Okay. Stop. Wait. Stop. Listen. They can't know everything. They can't know everything. That's not possible. That is not possible. Nobody knows everything.
Why is it
Nobody knows
impossible?
everything. Dr. Mercedes asked me where the data was, which means he doesn't know where the data is. He clearly has some sort of scan of my brain, which I'm pretty sure I know where he got it. But that means at the most they know what the container is. That's how they know that there was a third copy of the data, because they must have read it from my brain scans, which they got from him. But that means they don't know where it is. They would have known where to go look for it. That apartment was searched. Although I didn't know where she was. He knew where she was, so he probably told them where she was. Okay, what did I not know? I didn't know where she was. They knew where she was, because he told her. Okay, but I didn't know where the container was. I'm not going to tell you what that is.
Don't.
They didn't know. They asked me. Her apartment was searched. What if they didn't search her apartment? What if somebody else searched her apartment? A third, not a different group. But clearly Dr. Mercedes is working for the 12, working with the 12 as a tool of the 12, isn't connected, because otherwise, why would there be multiple yous and multiple me's? That doesn't, so he has to be part of that. Right?
Is that...
Yes.
I don't know.
You don't, okay, what were you doing at my friend's garage? What were you doing there?
I don't know. It wasn't me, but it was me. But it wasn't me.
It wasn't you. This is important. It's
Otherwise, I
important.
wouldn't be here.
No, I understand that, but it wasn't you. But you share memories with the other one. Why would you do that? Why would you go there?
I don't know. It's something about dropping off an important parcel.
Okay, dropping off a parcel. All right, I don't know anything about that, but I do know that you came in to get a tracker, maybe taking off of your hover bike. That's what I know. There was some sort of tracker on your bike. You came in to get that taken care of. It seemed like it was a sort of like an illegal deal, some sort of illegal tracker maybe, or you didn't want it, like it was tricky. Like you needed something that was really, really good so they could do whatever it is mechanics do in a way that's a little bit sketchy. And then I think you went outside to take a smoke maybe. I don't know. I wasn't outside. I was inside. Everybody was inside. And then somebody killed you. But I saw the footage later. There was a woman. There's a woman dressed in white in a way that is sort of not natural on that planet because there's a lot of pollution. She was dressed in white. Her hair, she was blonde. It was sort of long. And I sort of described the woman sort of in detail. She's the one who shot you. She just walked up to you. You were outside and she shot you and in the head. And then she disappeared, like she de-rezzed, like just like in a video game. She just, Do you know her? You have to know her. Why would she kill you otherwise? Tell me, what do you remember about her? About the
I
package?
don't. When they split you from the other half, you only share some of it. It's not like I was there.
But have
That's
you
the problem.
But do you remember? Like, have you seen her before? Is she from your past? Like, why would some person you've never met shoot you?
You're describing a ghost, someone in a crowd. They sound like anyone.
Okay, so you don't know her. You don't know why she'd kill you. What did you do? Who were you? I know why they want me. They want me because I have data. They've been chasing me for years.
I'm just a delivery guy.
Delivery guy.
And I just wanted an easy job, honestly. And then, and then there's a knock at the door. And you watch him just slowly crouch down with his head over his head. It's like, what did I tell you? What did I say? Like, as he sort of creeps down and sort of starts to shuffle beside the sofa.
I pick up I imagine we have some sort of equivalent, an Aether's Walkway equivalent of a baseball bat in this cabin. Like, I don't know what our sport is, but I imagine there's some sort of sport that involves a stick that is heavy.
You can easily have like a baton or something. It would just be something that you would have.
Because
umbrella.
It's like some sort of a sport stick. I pick up the sport stick.
Brandishing the sport stick. What are you doing?
I grab the sport stick and then I reach for my pocket for my decoy device, make sure it's still there. And I'm going to stop. I don't creep to the door yet, but I stop and I listen.
Could you roll me an intellect check then, please?
For footsteps, you know?
Mm-hmm. And could you also roll me a speed check?
I can. I'm just going to ask, is my skill in current events useful in this? Like no, okay. How
You can try, but I don't think it's gonna...
Initiative? Would that? No.
And probably not here.
Okay, I'm gonna intellect, and I'm going to spend an effort. Is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna spend an effort, and maybe not die. It'll be cool. Difficult unknown, and then one effort. Well, I think I have to spend three effort. Okay. Okay, that's a 17.
Okay.
That meets a difficulty 5, which is a 6 because I got the effort.
Okay. So could you roll me a speed check as well, please? See if they hear you back.
If you want me to. I'm not going to spend the effort because I'm low there. 18.
Okay. You hear footsteps walk up the first few steps. Again, you know the creaks. You even know what step they're on and what part. And it's not like a running footstep. It's not heavy footsteps. It's just as if someone was taking a walk out late at night, and they walk up your creaky sort of cabin stairs onto the platform just in front of the front door. And it's almost as if you could hear them breathing the other side of the door. They're stood right up against it.
I have my eyes closed, and it's almost as if I'm willing my consciousness to sort of spread out. You know, it's like, when you close your eyes so that you can just concentrate on your hearing, like, and I'm listening for those steps, but the other ones, I'm listening. Is there anyone else coming around the doorway? Are there people like, do I hear a breakup? Like it's that moment where I'm like, if there's one, are there more? Because I'm trying to assess, is this a team of people to come to catch us both, or could it not be, right? So like, it's that moment where like, that's the most important thing you need to know. Is there more than one of them, so I can assess how freaked out I need to be? Because it's already a level of freaked out, but like, it's like the more people, the more freak out. Like, that's
There was only one set of footsteps.
I just holding my sport stick. The sport game is really good, by the way. It's a very exciting sport game. I think that Zarina and I really love this particular sport game. It's real good. It's very active. And I'm going to creep close to the door on the other side of the frame. So if the door opened, I would be behind the door. And I am going to like peer, because I know all of our lights are off on the inside. I'm going to peer, because this is like cabins are a little bit older. I imagine it's a little bit little drafty, but like I'm going to peer for any sign of if they have any kind of electronics that might give off light, right? I'm looking to see if there's any hint, like that like sort of slight glow of green that might sort of peer through a crack in some such way.
You can't see any electronics, you can't see any light. In fact, you think they've doused everything so that they can't be seen approaching. They don't seem to be trying to keep fully quiet though.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't knock. They jiggled the handle, or did they knock?
They knocked. They knocked.
They knock.
They knock again as it takes you so long to get to the door.
I am going to use my spin identity to recloak myself, make myself look like a hiker, right? Like a generic hiker. I'm thinking are there any creatures, any of our races that have distinct voices, like vocal mechanisms, as opposed to like if you heard this voice, you might be like, oh, that's this group, like you know what I mean, like in that.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like Mara does have to a distinct tang if you're native to Mara, which you are, but whether you still have it or not would have changed it for your job.
Oh no, I would have dropped that accent for come on now. You can't have a farm boy accent and be like an important like journalist. You got to drop that right away. I think what I meant to say is if any of the races that we have, if they have specific vocal
do you mean like a Tellurian or something like that?
Yes, like yeah. Like do Tellurians or Saurians or Zakarans or Markites, so they have racially special kind of voice sounds, like in the TV show V from the 80s. They had like
very sort of deep throaty sort of voices, but it's quite smooth as well, so it's not harsh. It's sometimes they get told that they don't leave enough gaps in between words because they speak very almost like a song, some people say, but you could definitely do that.
So my generic hiker is going to be a Tellurian. The spin identity that I pull up, which I will spend the point on right now. And I will just say, hello, who's there?
And you hear a
Tellurian voice.
You hear a voice come straight back through the door, a female voice. My ears were burning. Can I come in?
Who are you?
My name is Alana. Can I come in? Or are you going to stand on the other side of the door all night? Or you could offer me a cup of tea and we could actually talk about what's happening. Because I'm afraid you don't have a lot of time. They are on their way. Sadly, the individual in there may have led them straight to you.
I give him a look.
He's in his own bubble right now, sort of.
I
Squeaking.
open the door, still giving the guy a look, and I was like, because my mind is like, oh no, I was fine, it's you. But like, I just have it in my thought. And I open the door, looking like a Tellurian hiker.
She stands there. She's got that very sort of poignant, sharp face, blonde hair, short. It looks slightly shorter now, like it's been cropped. Again, the white clothes as she stands there, and she looks you up and down and smiles. Should you put the kettle on then?
Come in. You are.
Thank you.
We've never met. And I close the door, and it's just a weird. And I have this sports stick in one hand. It's a really good sports stick, and then I have this like little detonator device in my other hand, and then I put the sports stick by the door, where it lives, and I carry this detonator device. I go over and I put the kettle on. I can give us more time.
And she tilts her head and looks at you, walks over to the bar where the kettle and everything is. 2 sugars, please.
Of course. Do you know me?
Yes. I know most people.
I turn off the spin identity because she knows me. Then she knows me.
She doesn't flinch at all as you change.
I don't know you.
No, you don't.
2 sugars.
2 sugars and just a tiny little dash of milk if you could. Too much and it's just sort of...
Of course. Also, why did you kill him? She killed you, by the way.
And he's still in his own... He hasn't quite reacted yet. I didn't kill him. I killed the other him.
Apparently, when you kill yourself, you can feel it.
Yes.
Good information to know now.
Do you have any biscuits? And she sort of jumps off the stool and starts opening all the cupboards.
We have... Would you like a protein bar?
No. Biscuits? You don't have protein bars with tea.
I do. I have protein bars all the time, actually.
And sort of walks over and starts opening some
we have
of the
cans.
cupboards.
We haven't been here in a while. It's just, so we have long-term things. Biscuits will go bad if you.
She does open one of the protein bars and starts like taking a bite out of it. She pulls a bit of a funny face before handing it down to the Solivac. But then she walks over and sort of almost sweeps up this mug of tea and sort of blows on it and goes and stands and just looks out the window into the night over the forest in Mara. And we are going to jump over to Zarina, Loxy, and Hybria. And you have all just had this very strange sort of encounter. This giant creature that you fought, and there's this moment where you can still feel the heat coming off of the explosion from this creature. And Zarina, that you feel this moment as George lets go of you, and you sort of look up and you can see this debris just falling and this ash from the sky as this creature is just exploded. You can see Hybria carrying Loxy. Loxy is very conscious, but does look to have an injured arm. And George looks down at you. Are you all right, miss?
Yes, I'm fine. That was just a lot. Just looking at the remaining crumbling things.
And he sort of, you hear that creak of the lack of oil in his head as he sort of judders and turns and looks round.
We've got to get you some oil.
And there's this moment where he looks towards Hybria and Loxy. Are you all right?
I've been better.
I have also been better. But what is really better?
You both handled that creature remarkably well. Congratulations. You survived.
Need that on my next birthday card.
It sure did a number on us as well. At least me.
Yeah, are you okay? Do you need anything? I have, I think we grabbed a first aid kit and some protein bars.
Yeah, and Loxy's just gonna like look at her arm. Do you know how to fix it?
I mean, I do have one non-mechanical arm, so I have had to deal with flesh wounds occasionally. I'll give it a look over.
Okay. Whilst you are giving it a look over, I'll say you can do this easily. You can definitely, it would need more attention from a healer, but you can definitely make it so that it fixes in place. It's almost like a little splint.
Yeah, like a little splint sling
on the
thing,
wing.
just makeshift it.
How messed up is my arm? Like,
It's not like a permanent thing. It's more that it really hurts right now. It's to keeping it in the same place whilst you're walking. It's advisable not to hit someone with it or fly with it right now until you meet a proper healer. But actually,
There you go.
Loxy and Hybria, could you roll me an intellect check, please, straight up? We're rolling well
17.
today.
Ooh, juicy.
Yeah,
Oh my
geez.
gosh.
Okay. It's almost, first of all, for Loxy, you spot it first, and you think it's mainly because of your Assyrian eyesight and how big your eyes are. You see, Hybrid, you see Loxy's pupils just sort of go wider, taking in more light as the heat from the explosion, you can feel it around you, the crackling of the fire, and you can see for a moment these huge rolling dark clouds overhead, almost like a storm's brewing, but it's always there and no thunder ever seems to come. But Loxy, as sort of Zarina sort of puts your wing in a splint, you sort of wince, but as you do, you look past her and you see two almost like glowing spheres which seem to be almost coming out of some of the smoke. And you can see that it actually belongs to a set of goggles. And Hybria, you can, if you sort of turn and look too, you both see this person sort of slowly walking through this smoke behind you, sort of coming towards you. No rush, no run or anything like that. They just sort of be climbing over some of the debris. It's not particularly elegant, but you can see this person pull up their goggles for a moment to reveal a very slender face, big eyes, very, very dark jet black hair, which is cut into a very sharp bob, heavy jacket, heavy trousers, boots, everything is just caked in dirt. And you can see from the neck down, and one of the arms is a full robotic modified sort of being, even down to the right hand leg, and sort of moves towards you with confidence. They have a staff in one hand that they sort of flick at the top and it starts to glow. It's like, you know, most sleepers run from those things, or they just don't survive. This female voice sort of calls out towards all four of you. It's quite impressive, that.
thank you. What did you call us?
Sleepers. That's what you are, aren't you?
I don't feel asleep.
Oh, no. As in, you're not awake. You're not one of the awoke. Do you know what? Don't worry. You're from the big city. I get it. I tell you what. You might want to start moving, because another one of those will probably crop up in a minute. You don't look too bad, but and he sort of points to Loxy, is like, you're gonna need a healer. I know. They're pretty good.
All right. I could definitely use it.
I am assessed in identifying and assessing danger and lies.
The
And
amount
also
of times
separate
you've
things.
asked that.
Lets me assess lies and trickery. So I've got like double lies things. Is this person BSing? Like just trying to be like, oh yeah, I know a healer. Come on with me, guys. I got candy in the back too.
I got candy in the truck. It's fine. No, you can
Always get
definitely
in the van.
Yeah.
Always get in the van if there's candy.
You can tell this person seems genuine. If anything, they look more anxious to get themselves out of there in case one of those things comes through. But they sort of walk towards you. They look up towards Jordan. Hello, and he sort of just gives a very creaky wave. I haven't seen one of those in a while. So, you should probably stop moving. You coming with me? Or are you going back to wherever it is you came from?
Where are you headed?
Oh, I'm going to the Undercity. It's much safer than up here. You're not scavengers, are you? Because only scavengers really come up here. I mean, I was here with my partner, but she sort of ran off for a bit, but she's fine on her own.
I would like to get out of here to avoid seeing one of those things again.
Okay, well, this way. And she sort of, and it is like, it's more of a half climb, like you're walking over boulders, but it's just all big bits of machinery as she starts leading you through this city, this broken down city that's all around. You can hear scuttles and scurries every now and then from much smaller, very mechanical creatures, but every now and then she throws almost looks like a glow stick, but it's a very thick lamp towards them, and they scurry away back into the shadows. What are you all doing out here anyway?
We are searching for someone.
Anyone in particular?
A friend of ours. He is a human male, older, with long gray white hair and blue eyes.
I mean, I mean, they could have found their way into the Undercity. This is where the healer is, if you want.
It's worth a look. We haven't had a lot of luck up here.
We
What
are
is
also
this Undercity?
Sorry, I didn't hear either of you said that.
Go ahead.
I was
Lucky.
starting to say that we're headed towards District 37. Is that the right number? I'm trying to.
Oh, that's here. That's what this is. Or what it was. Now most of it's, below ground, where you don't get so many of the scurriers.
Serena's probably heard of the Undercity from her connections. Yeah.
I'd say you definitely know the black market side of it. Or at least if you've not been there yourself, then you definitely know merchants from there. So.
Okay.
Okay.
That
Well,
hello.
This way. And again, sort of first of all, it starts to go by almost like weaving through what looks like used to be alleyways. You see huge shattered hologram screens. Every now and again they twitch. You can see almost like these small mechanic things, and Zarina, you recognize feeders straight away. They're almost like they're like flies around food. They're feeding off of every little bit of electricity that is in the remaining holograms. They're not interested by any of you because of how much power is in these things, but you can't help but hear the whir of some of the wings overhead of these creatures as you move through, and this person walks you further and further down one of these alleyways before seeing what looks like it was a dumpster, but it's almost been modified and had things built onto it as they pull it out. And you can see a very small trap door down by the edge of the wall and where the ground is. And she's like, down here then. and sort of you hear that horrible creak as in the slam of metal up against the wall, and it reveals a staircase down. Don't worry, as you go down, the lights will turn on. Just don't have them, you know. We wanted to install a clapper system, but then that just went awful with some of the things up here. But anyway, after you.
Zarina will go first too. And hopefully instill some chutzpah in the rest of the group.
I'm just tentatively watching Zarina and just ready to attack anything. Very high strung after fighting, you know, robot slug monster worm.
She might give you like a gentle, like, hand on shoulder. She kind of goes to the front and like, it's okay. Like, it's gonna
I have not been to places like this before. This is a new experience.
It's very exciting. Just take it all in.
Moxie's just gonna follow Zarina down the stairs.
As you get to like the 4th step, that's when the first light comes on, and you hear the trapdoor closing behind you. She's come in as well, and sort of move. You hear as if someone else is moving the dumpster back, so you can guess there's either a mechanism that does it, or someone else was up there already. And she almost pushes to the front to lead the way, sort of looks towards Hybria for a bit and then towards Zarina. It's like, she a bit wound up tight. She doesn't seem to trust me very much. And she starts to walk you down.
She's just like that. She'll warm up. Most likely.
Right. And your other friend?
Oh, and that Loxie. Loxie's cool.
And she sort of like, she looks back and smiles.
They don't have a lot of experience with places like this.
You do?
More than them.
And she sort of looks at your arm and looks at like at all the bits and bobs
legs and
mask. Yeah. And it's like, that's some good handiwork you've got there.
Thank you.
I like it. And just almost cuts off and continues to walk down. And Loxie, for your legs, this is probably more of a hop down each step more than anything.
Yeah.
You have it on the way down, and it's not too far before you sort of reach this opening, and you can hear the hustle and bustle of the Undercity. And as you go down, you can hear the whir of not traffic in the sense of cars, but maybe in the sense of bikes and things like that. You can hear just people talking. You hear announcements going off. You hear just a very vibrant, buzzing place. As this woman turns around and goes, "Here you are. Right. We're probably going to have to get you to a healer first. But otherwise, we've got the markets over there. We've got the sports stadium over there with the races. And, well, anything if you need something to eat, drink, anything."
What is it that you raced?
Ourselves.
Oh, very logical. What is it that the market sells?
Sort of like side glances towards Serena. Bit of everything. Maybe don't go into the market on your own, though. Again, side glances, Serena. It can be full of colorful people.
Yes.
Very, very vibrant personalities.
I enjoy vibrant personalities. I have met many over the past few days. I call them friends.
Oh, that's very wholesome. Looks towards Serena. It's like, yeah. If you want, I can take you to one of the tea shops or something, and you can sit in there whilst I try and find a healer.
That might be nice.
I do enjoy tea, but I also worry greatly for our other friend, Cantor. As well as seeing this place now brings to mind my original quest to find my esteemed older brother, Liwei Zhenfang, archer.
Oh. You sort of like, she frowns for a moment at that and said, well, I mean, I know an archer, but I don't know if it's the same one.
Is he a vibrant personality?
I mean, he's been said to have a vibrant personality.
Then that must be my brother.
And he's sort of like, well, if it helps, I can't guarantee it's your brother. But the archer I know is the healer. So if I bring him in, then perhaps, I don't know, but don't get your hopes up. I don't know how many archers we have here.
Let us go. I will not get my hopes up because things have been very turbulent the past few days. However, I will admit that I am hopeful to see my esteemed older brother again.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm Tarian Martyr. If you need anything, just ask for me. But I'll take you to one of the tea houses. It's just this way. And sort of gives, again, Hybria a funny look. And keeps walking. Not in like a... It's more of a confused way at how proper she stands above everyone.
Not quite a bless your heart.
Yeah, it's not a bless your heart.
No, she's so pure. Like, why is she
Bless
here?
her programming.
And you start to weave through all these people, and it is busy. There are flurries of people going in and out and in and out. And Loxy, you're almost not lost amongst them. You've been through loads of crowds before. You're sort of making your way through. You see a couple of other Osirians, the Tellurians, and you've got everything else, and lots of humans coming through here. You can see shouting from the markets. You can see all those sorts of things. But Loxy, you do see mainly you hear them first, sort of screeches of fun and play as you see a group of kids come running through the crowd, sort of weaving, just sort of like trying to chase each other, and you almost feel a knock as one of them sort of collides with you and falls over. But this is a very, very young Osirian. So this is tiny. She looks much smaller than the other children. You can see one of the children is a Tellurian, so he seems to be at the head of the group because he seems to be moving a lot faster with longer legs. But she sort of bumps into you, and you just hear like a "off," and she sort of rocks back and falls over.
I'll reach out my good arm to her. Help her up.
Oh, thank you. And as she does, she puts her arm up, and as you do, you feel clamp around your arm, this mechanical hand claw type thing, and you notice her whole arm is built up of metal feathers. She doesn't have her right arm at all. It's all genetic. You can see the lights sort of cascading between each sort of tip of the feather, as if it was making up the pattern of a feather itself.
Sorry, I'm still getting a bit used to this. I'm really heavy on one side.
Don't worry about it.
And she looks.
Have you had yours?
Yeah, just now, actually.
Oh, you should go to Archer, because he's really good at like fixing. Well, actually, he didn't do this. He made it better anyway. But he kind of. I should stop talking.
And sort of looks up at you a bit and feels like she may have said something she shouldn't have.
But it works now. No one did Osirian wings that could fly again.
So you can still fly?
Uh-huh. I'm
That's
faster
great.
than all of the other kids if I was allowed to fly, but apparently that's against the rules.
Why is it against the rules?
Because they can't do it.
Oh, with the other kids?
And she nods.
But I think it's against the rules because I have a lot smaller legs than they do. So,
Yeah.
technically, I should be able to, but it's quite crowded here, and I hit someone once, and I took out one of the stools, and then Mom got real mad. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
and she sort of, you can hear her, Maria, like,
Oh, that's me.
hi, and you sort of hear, excuse me, and a crash as she walks into someone else. As you see, she sort of leans slightly to the right-hand side as she moves on. But you can see the others just ahead of you in the crowd. And they sort of move towards this tea shop. All of you move towards this tea shop, and it's made up of almost it's not a fully stable thing. It looks like it can be almost folded and closed down in the evening. There's lots of very rich colored cloth and material that are draped over almost like a structured frame, and lots of seats on the inside as Tarian sort of guides you all in. Right, if you want all to take a seat here, and I'll go see if I can find the healer for you.
Thank you.
That will help. Any tea, anything is just on the house. I'll do it later. And you can just see this. You can see this this huge martite just sort of make a slow nod, grunt, a very deep grunt, to move across and start. Considering the martites are very big, they're very carefully taking out this mismatch of teacups and saucers. Some of them are broken, some of them are immaculate, but they're taking their time with them.
Hybria's going like right up to them, and will just, you know, in a somewhat quiet voice, because she's trying to be tactful, but also she doesn't really care. She would be like, no, not any tea. I specifically would like a jasmine white tea heated up to 89 degrees Fahrenheit, please. I don't know if Fahrenheit is a thing here.
As he sort of has this very low, slow voice. Any particular jasmine white tea? And he sort of moves a curtain aside, and you just see tins line the wall of every tea you could possibly imagine. All all labeled, all like written in 4 or 5 different languages. He very slowly tips his head towards you.
I would like to smell that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Please.
He nods, moves, turns his back slowly, raises his hands in the air, and you see the soft glow, and you see these tins slowly sort of hover away from the shelves and unscrew the tops of themselves and just start to sort of place themselves out in front of you. And Zarina and Loxy, what are you doing whilst Hybria's at the being given all these tins?
I think I'm making sure Loxy gets a nice comfortable seat.
Thank you. What do you think Hybria's doing right now?
Being very picky about tea.
What did we ask for?
You see more come down.
Too many. I was trying to limit to like 3 if I'm indecisive, but that's like 13.
You know, she's doing her thing.
Yep. While we're down here and we're waiting for the healer or anything, did you want me to pick you up anything from the market?
I guess I still don't fully understand what they have at the market.
The better question is, what don't they have at the market? There's things of questionable legality, and then less questionable legality. It's a hodgepodge.
I mean, nothing comes to mind at the moment.
Okay.
But maybe if we go after I get my arm fixed.
Yeah.
I could peruse.
All right. Did you want me to just get you a tea as well? Do you need 13
take whatever
different
they're
ones?
serving. I'm not
Okay.
picky.
Yeah.
I feel like Hybria has made her selection now out of one out of the 17 teas that she asked for. And she'll just like push it forwards towards the shopkeep and just say, I would like this one, please. I will have a cup for each of us. preferably from a set that is less broken, but if you only have the broken ones, that will suffice. Thank you. And
he sort of
swipe
puts
him
these
some
large,
credits.
yeah, he holds these large hands around the tin. It's like, the broken ones are the best. It makes them unique. And he sort of turns with the
Sometimes
tin
you
and
have to
starts
embrace
moving away.
imperfection, Hybria.
I feel like Hybria's brain is just replaying her mother's voice going, if you are going to serve tea, it must be served in a matching tea set with a matching teapot. It must be heated to 89 degrees Fahrenheit, etc., etc. And so she's just standing there like blankly like,
You see him try and pick out the most matching that he has as he sort of moves around very slowly, but you can smell like the fire sort of burning as he puts the huge sort of cast iron pots all along these burners, filling up them with like water, with almost like a ladle to fill them up to start the tea. And you are in this, the fragrance in this tea house is, it's not overwhelming, but is very, very strong. It's very pleasant. There's quite a few other people in here chatting, sort of keeping themselves to themselves. These small tables, very low to the ground, and big cushions. And some of them have higher chairs and things like that as well. But otherwise, it's very relaxed. Okay.
we lost Lindy.
I was going to say, we've lost Lindy. So, okay. Yeah, no, go for it. Yeah, we are about to go to a break. We are going to go and find our Lindy. So we'll be back in just a second. Oh, hey, we're back. Lindy's gonna hop in if she can. Power is out, but we love her and miss her dearly. Otherwise, we're gonna hop over to Archer and Cantor, and Archer's sort of leading you through the city itself, sort of showing you things here and there. He's kind of showing, but he seems very distracted and sort of walking with a bit of excitement at the fact you're here, and almost sort of a disbelief. People sort of greeting him and waving at him as he walks past. Some of them give you looks, and they're mainly smiles as they sort of walk past you, and he sort of takes a moment where there's silence for a bit as you walk. Do you have any questions about this place? Me? You? What happened? I mean, I'll fill you in where I can. I know it's not easy. But you said that I was, or we were special like you. So I don't know how much you already know.
I don't know a lot. I was coming with my friends, your sister, Loxy, Zarina.
It's been so long since I've seen my sister, and you obviously, but also my sister. She's probably gonna kill me when she finds out that I've been down here.
She's
but
very worried about you.
She is. I didn't know if she was gonna forgive me for leaving or anything, but I had to leave for her benefit as well as my own. He seems very sort of all over the place with his words, and I came down here to get away from my parents and from, the supremacy itself. But when you were gone, I was about 6, 7. I don't really remember, but I did what you said. I tried to hide my powers for as long as I could. Tried to pretend that I'd lost them after you gone, but then my parents threatened that I'd never see Hybria again if I didn't produce something to show them, or they thought I wasn't working hard enough, or so I did a few things like I levitated a spoon and breakfast and things like that every now and then to keep them happy, and they thought that something was actually happening. And because Hybria was all I had when everyone else had gone, and I every time they took her away for one of her lessons, I was scared she wasn't going to come back. Whereas if I left, they couldn't ask for any more powers, and they couldn't use her as a threat. Anyway, but I did come down here, and I became a healer. For all of this, I became a healer for the modded. As you probably know, or don't know, they're known as the broken.
Cantor wouldn't know. He can't follow this. He has a huge absence of even short-term recollection. So, but he knows what he knows because there's a feeling that he has that even without a memory, you can still have that feeling for someone. And so with that feeling at the forefront, he would reach over and place his hand on Archer's shoulder. I'm really proud of you.
And you can feel his shoulders relax for a moment, as if that's the first time he's been told that in a very long time. And he's like, thanks. I try really hard. You know, be a half decent healer and teach what I can. Because I mean, everyone down here, everyone, they're put under the term of the broken. They're not broken. That's what the supremacy calls them. The Tellurians actually call them the awake. But it's complicated. It's a whole hustle and bustle down here. But what it is I don't know how much you remember of the voice. Never mind. The Tellurians believe that when someone becomes broken, they have their mind freed, not snapped. It's I'm technically not classified as broken to them, but you know, there's this. We don't tell anyone how to get down here. Any, you know, supremacy. It's why they send all of their trackers above ground. Everyone here believes that the supremacy sends you to a rehab center after you've had like a mod done, to go to these rehab test centers to make sure you can't hear the voice anymore, to make sure it's not broken you, or as we say, woken you up. They make sure they still have control of you. But you taught me that as well. I'm guessing you don't remember that either, as he sort of looks at your face.
No. Do you think they broke me?
No. I think they were too scared to. You're not broken. You've just forgotten. That's it. You've just forgotten. And that can come back.
Luckily, I know a good healer.
I am a good healer. But, I'm actually waiting for Alana. We can't, call or send messages or anything, because obviously, anything that comes under us will be picked up or tracked. We can't risk being seen together or anything like that. Sometimes we do have a private meetup because that way no one can listen in, but if we're together too long, then Aiden will hear us. But if you want to see her, I know I'm supposed to see her in the next few days.
Shouldn't we see them both?
And you can see this sadness sort of in his eyes. He's like, I don't know where Aiden is right now. We keep separate. Alana is always off trying to find things and, you know, make a difference, and she's got her job and she's away doing, I think she had some work on, you know, off planet. But I'm down here and I can't leave, because one time we did meet, but we met on the surface, and my abilities were caught on camera in the background, and it gave them a pinpoint as to where we all were, and they tried to kill her. So we can't do that anymore. We need to find other ways of meeting. But if you want to, I can tell her you've been here. I can tell her where to find you. In fact, she'll probably find you before you find her. She's a bit creepy, actually, like that. She does tend to turn up rather randomly, but you know, it's easier to be called. It's easier, as he corrects himself, for the supremacy to call us broken, because it makes those up there, and then he sort of gestures up and then corrects himself, like you who live up there fear us.
I don't fear you. And now that I'm here, no one's gonna hurt you again.
You've said that before. You meant it then as well. And he looks very distracted as his eyes almost dart around to look anywhere, but so he sort of keeps moving. But it's a much slower pace now. Do you not remember anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like our lessons, our just conversations, anything?
There was a crash. Mac and I were in a crash. Picture I would have been lost without it.
I heard you were in a crash. Mac told me. But he wouldn't tell me where. He said I wasn't allowed to know.
Water. Liquid, something. Remember coming home, hugging kids. Did I really tell you I'd protect you before?
And he gives a slow nod. You told us all that.
What happened?
In what sense? What, when you left? Or...
Did I fail?
No. No. You didn't fail at all. If anything, we failed you. You couldn't... We weren't old enough to learn everything in time. And then things happened and you were never supposed to receive the box. I know Alana said she had to try to stop you from receiving it. You had to forget. You couldn't remember. We don't know why, but that's what you told us. You're not allowed to remember for our safety, because this was how you were going to protect us.
I cannot remember and still protect you.
Well, and he sort of reaches out, and it's a very sort of awkward at first. It's a half slap, half gentle sort of grab on your shoulder, and then you can feel it as a firm grip. It's like, well, why don't we protect each other? And I'm bigger now. I can do that. And maybe I can teach you a few things, like the things you taught me, so it's kind of the same.
Okay.
Okay. Please don't get your hopes up about seeing Aiden.
I'll find you all.
Okay. And you can see that there's definitely something sort of being held back as he looks at you and is paused for a moment as he keeps walking. I know a great tea shop if you want to have a drink.
Okay.
I know how you like your tea.
Good.
Good. And he sort of awkwardly turns and starts to walk. Or lead you more than anything. He still walks by your side. And... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, after about a few steps, with the mention of the tea, something would fire and catch in Cantor's mind, and he would say, George knows how I like it too.
George? You have George?
I don't have him, he's with us.
George is still around? He was ancient when we were young.
He's okay.
And you could see a smile on his face. He's like, okay. Oh my god, George is still okay. Wow. As he sort of like takes a moment to realize, like, is he with you? Like, does he live with you? Does he still do everything?
We found him.
Found? Okay. I sort of pauses, thinking it's not gonna end well to ask questions.
My best friend Loxy fixed him.
Loxy? This is the Osirian, right?
My friend, yes.
Right. Sounds like she's a good mechanic. Actually, I have a few questions I could ask her, actually, then, as he sort of continues to walk.
He looks around and sees some of, like, the mods, like, some of the more, like, mechanical, almost, I don't want to say inorganic, but almost, you know, going in that direction. And at the mention of Loxy, he would see some of the more mechanical elements of the people walking by, and she's a healer, too.
She is? What field does she specialize in?
He doesn't know how to say it, but whenever somebody that is more metal than humanoid, he would just motion.
And he smiles. I mean, you gotta be very talented to do some stuff like that.
She's the best.
Well, I hope I can meet this Loxy at some point. And George, because apparently he's still kicking about. But it's just good to see you. Like, really, really good. I mean, I knew you were alive, but you know, I didn't think I'd see you again.
I feel like I can't remember, but a part of me can. Like I found something.
Like a missing piece, like a cog. Yeah.
And he would reach into his, like, inside his shirt and fish around and pull out the necklace with the cog piece. Like this.
And he reaches into his own and pulls it out. Like this. Yeah.
Hey. And something fires deep inside Cantor's mind, but it cannot surface. Oh.
You have this moment as he pulls it out. It's like a flash of a sort of like a misty sort of haze around you, where you are standing in that room again, that same room you always go back to. And that little boy, that young archer, holding it up around his neck, going, same! But it sort of disappears almost as instantly.
It's the same. You're right.
How about that tea? I like tea.
George knows how I like it.
He always did make a good cup of tea, as he sort of starts walking towards, and you see him push away these push away some of these drapes and sort of duck under this. It's a very thin, narrow alleyway that sort of almost becomes this tea shop. And Loxy, as you're sat there, Zarina seems to be looking at some of the other teas and trying not to calm Hybria down, but trying to help the Martite out. But as you look across, you see this young man step in, sort of duck under in these sort of darkish robes, very good-looking young man. And if anything, you would have said this, you could see Hybria in him straight away. But it's when Cantor ducks under right behind him that you clock it.
Cantor. Hybria, look.
Can Cantor see everyone else as well when he comes in?
You can see everyone else. Archer's gone, not off to the side, but he has seen someone else and he's greeting them. But Cantor, you've stopped, and Loxy, you're right by the door, so you're just inches from Loxy.
Loxy's gonna hop up on a chair to make sure that Cantor sees her.
There, the Archer, and he would just start running over towards Loxy, and as soon as he would get, almost like he's coming in for a hug, but then he stops and his eyes get huge. Are you hurt?
Yeah. I mean, it's not terrible.
Archer, he's a healer.
And he sort of turns around, yeah? And sort of
Who's
looks.
the same Archer?
Archer looks directly at you, Loxy, and smiles, doesn't think anything of it, and walks over. So, yes, healer. I am a healer. How can I help? Oh, and sort of looks towards your arm.
Yeah. But,
Cantor would start looking around, yeah.
I feel like Hybria is like fully leaning over the counter, like pointing out the cups that she wants. It's like, no, that one and that one and that one. And then she hears Loxy say her name, and she'll like stand up and like be like, no, I'll take it. Thank you very much. And like pick up the tea tray and like turn around and see Cantor and be like, okay, awesome. And then see her brother and then just drop the tray.
And there's
of all of the non-broken teacups that are now broken.
There's this moment where you almost see in slow motion the tea leave the cups as they all just drop, and there's just this clatter on the floor and the shatter of china and shatter of all of these cups and saucers. The tray itself just clatters loudly. The whole tea shop goes silent. This Martite sort of stretches its long neck over, and you just hear like a, like towards the cups on the floor. But you almost hear that like behind you. It's not registering at all. And you see Archie, who's knelt down to look at Loxy for a moment, sort of stand up and look towards you. And his eyes just wide for a moment, frozen in position. Hi, Priya.
Archer.
And he sort of he pushes past some of the he pushes past the Martite that's sort of come through to try and collect up some of his things, and he almost steps over some of this china and the tea. You can hear it crunch under his boots, and he just throws his arms around your shoulders. And it's a tight hug. He sort of like cradles the back of your head with the palm of his hand. He's like, oh my God.
I knew you weren't dead. I knew that you weren't dead. Our parents said that you were dead, but I knew that you were not dead. And I feel like Hybria just has this like stupid little smile on her face as she's just like, you're not dead. Here you are. I knew it, and I was correct, which means that our parents were incorrect, which is another thing. But I'm so happy you're alive. I'm sorry I dropped your tea.
You can hear just a whisper almost by your head. I'm not dead. And don't worry about the tea. Just don't worry about the tea.
You're not dead, and you're here, and you're hugging me. And then, like, really belatedly, I'll hug him back. And then the moment that I actually start squeezing him, that's when she'll be like, I have been searching for you for so long, and it felt really strange because our parents kept saying that you were dead, and I knew that you weren't dead, and here you are now, and I was right this whole time. And oh my goodness, there are so many things that I have to tell you about myself, and I don't know what is happening in my eyes, if this crying is real or not. All I know is I love you, and I don't want to be parted from you again, and please don't die again or ever. I don't know.
He sort of withdraws back, doesn't let go, but withdraws so he can see you. And he puts both of his hands sort of almost like cradling your face and just wipes the tears away. He's like, it's fine. I'm not dead. You found me. And you can see like his eyes welling up as well. And he's like, there's almost that relax and a big sort of escape of air from his chest. He's like, you did. And he sort of scoops you up and swings you round, almost knocking over the Marte again, who's currently trying to pick things up. He's like, yes, but you're here. And it's been so long and I haven't seen you in so long.
Oh my gosh. Esteemed older brother, I am wearing not appropriate clothing for this meeting. I had not planned.
Nor am I.
Broken. I wish I hadn't my Louis Vuitton dress on. I don't know. Louis Vuitton was the first brand name I could think of. I am not prepared for this.
Hi, Bria. I am wearing nothing appropriate of what our parents would deem appropriate. For a start, the colors don't match.
No, they don't.
No, they're awful. And he sort of starts
Your hair is a mess.
I know it is. And he starts to like almost well up. But he just pulls you back in to another hug and stays there and doesn't let you go. And you just hear around you as he doesn't let go the scrape of teacups off the floor as this Marte scoops them up, picks them up, and shuffles back to the bar. Now they're better than ever, and puts them down in this little pile on the side.
I feel like me and Archer are doing one of those like head on shoulders, like lean against each other, where we're almost like horizontal.
And he is a bit taller than you, but you just listen to each other's breathing. Because the tea shop is dead quiet around you as everything has gone still. And I think that is where we will leave it this week so that we can get Lindy back next week.
I'm so happy I found my brother and it didn't all get destroyed immediately after finding him. Thank you, Alice.
I'm going to save my theory until it gets around to me, but Lindy has conscripted me to go around, follow these lovely people, and find out what they are doing. Let's jump up into the corner. Trooper, my friend, how are you, and where can we find you online?
Well, I'm super, like, got the feels right now, and I was like, oh, brother-sister reunion. Nobody was poisoned that we know of just yet.
Yeah.
Was so good. Oh, I am Trooper SJP, and what a great, I'm so happy to be back. And I'm so excited for what's going to happen, and I'm not feeling paranoid or weird. My character might be feeling a little paranoid or weird, but that's different. But I'm having a lovely time. Thank you, Alice, for being such a great GM. You can find me at Trooper SJP, which is my channel, and tonight at 7 p.m. I'll be running episode 7 of City of Light and Shadow, which is a Fate Resistance campaign, which Greg is in. And some players decided it would be a fun prank to give their handler barbiturates and alcohol, and he's dying. So wasn't a fun prank after all. And there's like a couple of cliffhangers, and we're just gonna find out what happens. So that's tonight, and yeah, and you can see me, here on Fridays, and then also on Wednesdays for The Witcher, which will start back up again in 2 weeks or so, ish. And that's it. You can see me. That's me.
Fantastic, my friend, and let's drop straight down. Erica, how are you? Where can we find you online? And I'm glad that we found a healer.
I
Hopefully.
am too. I'm very in my feels. When the whole meeting was happening, I typed in the backstage chat, like, are we gonna cry? And by we, I mean me. And yes, it happened.
Lots of tears.
It's good. It's so good. You can find me everywhere across all social media at AStylePixie. You can also find me Wednesdays at 10 a.m. on Girls Guts Glory Twitch channel. Last Saturday of the month, or actually in this case, second to last Saturday of the month, you can find me on Voidcat Gaming's channel for Occultation, which is a ghost hunting tabletop RPG. And then today you can find me on Friends Who Roll Dice for a charity stream where we will be playing Sleepaway. And that will be raising money for RAIN and Earth Day Network. I think that's everything.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I will leap over myself and go over to Lily. Lily, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? And I think that meeting was everything I wanted. But before you start, I'm going to say my little thing here. I was prepped and ready because this is an Alice game, and I know that you two are in cahoots about a lot of things. I expected you to start squeezing Archer, like killing him, and that's the type of paranoia that I live with. Anywho, back to you. Where can we find you online?
I was also like, where's it gonna go? Like, I was getting into the roleplay slowly because I was like, where's the catch? Where's the catch? But it just turned out beautifully. So I'm very happy about that. I'm doing great. I love this game. I'm so happy to be back with all of you and my favorite GM of all time, Alice. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch at Lily Sparks. I stream on Wednesdays on my own channel, reading the Dungeon Master's Guide and giving GM advice and just practicing weird character voices. So you can follow me there doing that. And I play on the Roll for Damage channel, which is a Femmes and Friends channel. Bi-weekly on Thursdays, I run Masks, a teen superhero RPG over there. And on Sundays, I run Creature Collectors on the Critical Bard channel, which is a D&D anime mashup. So it's based on Pokemon, Digimon, Cardcaptor, Sakura, and I just threw it all together in a D&D game. So there's that. And next week, I am holding a 3-day charity streaming event to raise money for Little Warriors. So you can check that out on my Twitch channel, Lily Sparks, from the 22nd to the 24th. And we'll also be raising money here again on next Friday in Aether's Walkway. So yay, I'm very excited about that. They're an amazing charity and do really good work. And it'll also be my birthday next Friday. So come hang out with me on my birthday and with some of my favorite people for Aethers next week, please. And yeah, I'm so happy I finally got to reunite with my brother. But now I feel like that was the good part. Now it's going to be like, what happened? Now we got to talk about me being a robot and how he maybe probably knew my entire life. You know.
But you know, he was trying to save you. He was trying to save you. He was there for you.
Yes. There for me by being not there for me, which is just so many feels. Oh, gosh.
How people can be. You know how people can be.
Yeah, of course.
Fantastic stuff. Let's jump up to GM Extraordinaire. Alice, my friend, how are you? And where can we find you?
It's good to be back. It makes me laugh that no one trusts me with a wholesome moment anymore. It could be because, I mean, no, you don't.
I trust you. I do. I totally trust you. I do trust you to also torture us a little bit. Like there's, like, you know, the trust happens in multiple ways.
Well, the games
There's
I
layers.
primarily run are also Call of Cthulhu. So that's normally my, and I think only 2 of you have been in a Call of Cthulhu game of mine, I think.
So far.
The greatest Call of Cthulhu game I've ever been in, ever in the history of ever. With Alice, everybody, if you're wondering what is it like to be a player, and I'm stealing Alice's time, what is it like to be a player in an Alice game? It's like playing poker, and you lay down a full house, and Alice is across the table and raises an eyebrow, and you think, somehow I've lost this. I have lost this game. How did I lose it? I thought for sure. That's it. That's the game. I'm sorry, Becky.
No, it's fine. I'm here every Friday. I'm really excited to be here every Friday. I love this game. It's the only game I'm running, but I love being here with all these wonderful people every week. So
Aren't you also running a one-shot next week for something?
Oh yes, I'm also running, speaking of a Call of Cthulhu for Lily's birthday next week. So come and check that out because
On Thursday.
yeah, brand new, full-on story, everything. I'm very excited for this one. So the idea came to me last night. So yeah.
Buckle up. Prepare to be terrified. You know, just tape your lights up and on. They're never going to be turned off again. So, thank you. As for me, I'm Greg, Grimjack21502. Tonight, I am over on City of Light and Shadow, where I play my ex-German military turned resistance fighter, Oscar Mueller, who has been face-claimed as Chris Evans. So, I get into I'm fingers crossed, I get into some type of altercation tonight from when I need to put Chris through his paces. So in addition to all of that, make sure that you check out the channel here. On Monday nights, I believe they're coming back for the finale of their Dread game. So there's Promised Deaths and again, a spooky phenomenon. And then Tuesday, they have the Ravenloft game here. And also Tuesday over on LFM, they have the Degrees of Madness, which is the Call of Cthulhu game that Lindy runs over there, and I believe that's 5 p.m. Eastern over on that channel. So I think that's everything, and then meet us back here for Aether's Walkway a week from now, and we will continue to have all that fun. But Lindy says it better than I do, but have fun, play games, and if you can ever get a chance to play with these lovely people, including Lindy, of course, and this fantastic GM, please do so. And in any way that you possibly can, share stories, because now is a good time to do just that, because the real world doesn't need any of our eyes right now. Let it literally burn and tell your stories. Anyway, have fun, everyone. We'll see you soon.